Hello everyone, I'm Rod Wortham and welcome to this edition of Raceface Driver Updates. Atlanta Motor Speedway was the place to be with 3 drivers competing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, 1 in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and 1 driver on the 1/3 mile INEX Oval on Friday. We also had 3 drivers getting dirty in microsprints at Millbridge on Wednesday. But before we get to the results, let's take a trip around Atlanta Motor Speedway's 1.5 mile oval that races like a super speedway in this week's track lap with Fast Pasta presented by Logitech.
Hey everybody, Anthony Alfredo here, and today we're at the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway on iRacing for the track lap, sponsored by Logitech G. We're in our virtual Logitech G Chevrolet Camaro, rolling up onto the track while the sun sets. We're going to stay on the apron and follow this blend line off of turn 2, but this is a super speedway now that this track has been reconfigured. It's not the Atlanta Motor Speedway we all knew, worn out, fast, slipping and sliding. Now it's really fast and packed up because of the restrictor plates or tapered spacers on the cars that keeps everyone grouped up, closer on speeds, levels the playing field, very intense for the drivers and exciting for the fans. It seems slow by ourselves here. We're only going to be going about 170, but in the draft it's over 185 miles per hour, closer to 200 in some cars. So we're just going to wrap this red line tight. You do have to race above it. You can't go below it in the quad oval. And shortcut the racetrack. But we did see a lot of drivers work the higher side of the racetrack. I know for me, my car handled better up there, not to mention it just seemed like a freight train. So many cars committed to the top, and at a super speedway style race, the more cars that are in a lane, the faster that lane goes. So instead of working that bottom lane we just did, we're going to see a lot of drivers stay higher on the track, like up here for instance. It's freshly repaved, they added banking, but it's still a narrow track. It feels like a mini Daytona. It's just as much banking, but a tighter radius corner, more narrow. It's definitely intense and a stressful race because there's not a lot of places to go if there is trouble. So you're going to have to be careful with that. Strategy is going to be critical. It's going to be pretty exciting because now we raced here twice last year. Everyone's got a better idea of what they need out of their car as far as the handling. What kind of setup they need to go fast, and of course, how the race may play out. So the only thing different is pit road actually begins on the backstretch here now, back here. So we're going to pretend like we're coming to pit road, downshift to third, hit second. The line's right about here. That's your commitment line and your speed line. I was still going 60 miles per hour. Pit road speed's actually 45. So now I feel like I'm crawling around here, just creeping around the apron. You're going to be right against this transition right there, right on that seam. That's the outer edge of the pit lane. The original pit lane didn't start until off of turn 4, but they moved it to the entry of turn 3 off the back straightaway for safety reasons. Cars checking up in the middle of the pack and trying to make pit road right here since they reconfigured it, moved that wall out, has definitely made it quite interesting and potentially chaotic if there were to be a green flag stop for everyone. There was some unscheduled one last year, but nothing too crazy. But if there is a scenario of a green flag stop, that's going to be critical and change the whole complexion of the race because you can go multiple laps down. As you could see at this speed with everyone else going almost 200 miles per hour, you'd already be a lap down. You'll possibly be 2 or 2.5 laps down by the time you blend back onto the racetrack. So that's going to be something to pay attention to as far as strategy for the teams and drivers. Going to have to execute, not get a penalty, because then you'll be 4 or 5 laps down. Who knows? But for you fans, keep an eye on that this weekend as you watch the races at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's been another track lap with Fast Pasta, thanks to Logitech G. And I'll talk to you all later. See you in the next one.
Thanks, Anthony. That was an eye-opener. Now let's throw in another 37 cars, some cold temperature, and maybe a little rain. Speaking of rain, the INEX race for Cole Denton was rained out, and all of the qualifying for both the Xfinity and the Craftsman Truck Series was rained out on Friday, and the field was set by NASCAR's algorithm, whatever that is. Keep in mind, they had no practice, and everyone was taking their first laps under green. We start off with Sheldon Creed, who rolled off 7th in his number 2 Whelen Engineering RCR Chevrolet, and they were fast right out of the box, finishing stage 1 in 2nd, stage 2 in 4th, and while running in the top 5 in the final stage, they cut down a tire and had to pit under green and went 3 laps down. With help of several caution flags, they raced their way back to the lead lap, but were only able to post a 21st place finish. Up next for Sheldon, COTA this weekend. Anthony Alfredo lived up to his nickname, Fast Pasta, as the number 78 BJ McLeod Chevrolet was on a rail after starting 15th. Anthony raced his way to a 14th place finish in stage 1, 5th in stage 2, and led several laps in the final stage, but had an engine issue late in the race, finishing 14th. We caught up with Anthony right after the race for his take.
Thought tonight was going to be our first win, and this Jack Meadows Chevy was Fast Xfinity 10G. This guy right here had a great strategy and built a good car. BJ and Jessica McLeod, thank you for this opportunity. All our amazing partners. We were up front with a 78 car. The car was 30-something in points last year. Nobody believed we could do it, and tonight we had speed. Didn't get the finish we wanted. Should have been a top 10, at least a top 5, really, but the engine started missing on the last lap. I mean, that's just the unluckiest thing I've ever had happen, but we still salvaged a top 15. So thankful for the opportunity. Thanks to all of you who support us.
Anthony will also be on the road course at COTA this weekend. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll check in on Connor Mozak and Caden Honeycutt, both making their NASCAR debut in Atlanta. One in the Xfinity Series, one in the Truck Series. So don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back.
Introducing Raceface Digital Collectible Cards. Buy, sell, and collect MP4 digital cards, representing the next wave of superstar drivers. Collect them all. Standard, Premier, 3D Elite, Victory Lane, and Throwback. Showcase your cards in your very own pit collection. Fan enrollment is free. Visit racefacedigital.com today.
Welcome back. Connor Mozak was making his second start of the year in the NASCAR Xfinity Series with Sam Hunt Racing. Connor had to start 25th due to qualifying being rained out and making his first laps at Atlanta, as we said, under green. Connor raced his way to 15th at the end of stage 1 and was running in the top 5 before getting shuffled back after making what he called a bad decision on which car was the fastest to draft with. Here's what Connor had to say after the race.
Well, our Toyota GR Supra was really fast at Atlanta. We had great run going. We worked our way to the top 5 and feel like we were in a good position to maybe capitalize on something there. Chris, my crew chief, made a great strategy call to come down and pit the first 15-20 laps, and then we were able to just keep staying out and moving forward, and we were passing guys at the same time too, and we found ourselves third at one point, and felt like our car was really fast. We could run with those guys, and I just kept getting more and more comfortable being up there. So all was going well until restart about halfway through the race. I was behind the 10 car, third in line, and he went to the outside, I assumed to go around the 78, and I decided to go with him. I figured he was the better car, and nobody else decided to go with us, and we got shuffled out. And then trying to get back in line, got put 3 wide, and just got all the air taken off the right side of my car going into turn 3, and just lost it and crashed pretty hard. So it was an unfortunate end to our day for the speed that we had, but we're all happy to be going to a road course next week in COTA, and I think we can have a good result there.
Connor will also be at COTA, where he will definitely be in his comfort zone on the 3.4 mile road course. Catch all of the NASCAR Xfinity action live from COTA on FS1. Qualifying on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and racing on Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Caden Honeycutt was making his Atlanta Motor Speedway debut in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Caden had started the race from the 29th position and had never made one single lap around the fast 1.5 mile circuit until the green flag dropped. Caden picked up 10 positions in stage 1 and used some pit strategy to start from the front row at the beginning of stage 2. Caden took the lead on lap 45 and he led his first lap and restarted again from third before having some engine issues that forced the team into the garage where they went 11 laps down. Let's go to the driver for his take on the race.
What's up, everybody? Caden Honeycutt here. Finished up here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Started 29th. Was able to make our way up to 18th or 19th, I believe, first stage. And then second stage, we were cycled up towards the front. Got to actually lead a lap, which was quite awesome, especially for our Roper Racing team, CarQuest, and everybody at Ford for the help on that. Just unfortunately just had one small piece of metal go inside the alternator, and right when Zane was pushing me, all the power just cut off, so I couldn't really do much about it. And it just sucks. Put us like 11 laps down, couldn't find the problem. And then we just went out there, soldier on the rest of the race, and whatever positions that we could get, we went out there and got. So we ended up finishing 34th or 33rd, I believe. So not the run that we wanted, but I just want to thank Bruce Cook, Chris, Craig, Corey, Roper, and everybody that does such a great job helping us and making sure that we have what we need. CarQuest for the support, for performance, everybody at Ford for the opportunity. We'll pick up our bits and pieces. We'll go on to COTA, the road course. So we'll see what we can get there. Just very disappointing finish, especially after having a fast truck like we did. So moving on to COTA next week and see if we can turn this luck around. So thank you guys for your support. Tough luck, but we'll go get them next week.
Caden will also make his road course debut at COTA on Saturday in the Craftsman Truck Series when they take the green at 1:30 Eastern Time on FS1. Now, Jesse Love was back in the South in his number 20 JBL Donnie Wilson Super Late Model at South Alabama Speedway for the prestigious Rattler 250. There were 31 cars in contingent for the $25,000 to win check, representing some of the top late model drivers in the country, including Ty Majeski, Bubba Pollard, Jeremy Doss, and Justin Mondyke, just to name a few. Jesse qualified third, ran in the top 5 for the first 87 laps, and never ran outside the top 8, bringing home a 7th place finish. Up next for Jesse, more super late model racing at Chris Motorsports Park on April 1st. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll check in on RaceFace Next drivers Landon Cox and Jacob Clayton, who both made a last-minute decision to go to New Smyrna to get some track time for the upcoming Dixie Shootout event. Did you collect baseball cards when you were a kid? Well, times have changed, and the new hot thing is digital racing cards. And RaceFace Digital is now open to all drivers in all series, so check this out.
Welcome to RaceFace Digital Collectible Cards. Are you a driver or a team looking to expand your brand? Want to connect with your fans, give sponsors more exposure, and earn income from all card sales? Then RaceFace Digital has you covered. Digitize your brand with 5 different collectible cards. Enrollment is now open to all drivers and all series. Visit racefacedigital.com today.
Welcome back. As I said before the break, RaceFace Next drivers invaded the state of Florida for some track time at New Smyrna QMA. Let's start with young Georgia driver Landon Cox, who took 3 cars to Florida. We start with the heat races, where Landon went P1 in Junior 160, P1 in Junior Animal, and P2 in Junior Honda. Now on to the A mains, where he finished on the podium again in all three classes. First in Junior 160, second in Junior Animal, and third in Junior Honda. Great job, Landon. Jacob Clayton was also at New Smyrna, where he finished on the podium in all three classes. Heavy Honda third, Heavy World Formula second, and Unrestricted Animals second. Both Landon and Jacob will be at New Smyrna QMA this weekend for round 2 of the Dixie Shootout Series on Saturday. As I said at the beginning of the show, Cole Denton was rained out on Friday in Atlanta. So what does a national Bandolero champion do when he's not racing? Well, check this out.
Hi, Daniel. Hi. You want to? He's already got your cards. We went and saw him.
I went to your shop a few months ago.
Oh, yeah?
Tell him what you got surprised with after that.
I got a new Legend car.
Oh, you did? Awesome.
He's all excited. He's had just a couple of races in his Legend car.
There's an older car and
Hey, how are you? All right. How you doing? That's awesome, man. Got a picture?
Sure. He's all excited about his new Legend car. He painted it City Chevy. Hi, Joey.
Hey, how are you?
Cole wanted to meet you because everybody keeps saying, you're the next Joey Logano. I don't know what that means, but around here. He hears that at Crisp a lot.
I was the champion at Crisp for the past 2 years in a row.
Track champion. He won the Thirsty Thunder. He won the Thirsty Thunder this year.
You got a Legends car? Dude, so much more fun, right?
He just got in his Legends car.
Get air and stuff on your bike and everything. I freaking love it, dude.
City Chevy paint job.
Oh, that's cool.
Cole's the
Did
national.
you see the bus down there with the city Chevrolet on it? There's a camper bus down there with
We're gonna have
your
to-
paint scheme on it.
We're gonna have to
Cole is the national Bando champion this year. He won in the Bandits division, the national champion.
one Thursday Thunder. So.
Nice, bro. Awesome.
And winter nationals and spring nationals and track champion. 12 championships this year.
I won every circle track championship. 12?
12 championships.
Mom got that car dialed in or what?
Dad did.
I raced my first race at Crisp.
You know it's a lot of
I
work.
raced my first race at Crisp in the Legend this past weekend.
Yeah.
And I was running fourth. I qualified fourth, and I was running fourth, and I was able to pass on the outside and get to third,
Yeah.
which is super hard.
Yeah.
And
Made it happen though.
fell back to sixth in the end because the leaders, they were all getting squirrely, and I was
Yeah.
like, ooh, not this freaking car.
He said he thought it was a
You don't work on the car a lot?
Sometimes in the bando, I work on it, but now we have somebody taking care of the Legend.
He's been really
We
good.
haven't figured the Legend out yet.
Yeah, I learned about the race
But I
cars, man.
qualified pole at the 3rd mile, and it got rained out a few weeks ago.
He was so excited.
And we had 13 cars, so I was super excited about that.
Ken wouldn't let him stay in Chargers. One race he let him. He says, nah, Cole, that's not going to work. Ken Reagan. He had a blast.
Your middle name's not actually
I went to
Treco,
track
is it?
house.
No, it's not. His name is actually Nicholas, but it's spelled with C-O-L in the middle, so that's where we get Cole. But when he was little.
From last year, we were standing when y'all walk out the campers. I don't know if you remember me. Me and my friend Baylor. He had long curly hair. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, yeah? They're right there
We
in
were
that
standing
area
down
there.
there where y'all walked to the trailers, and we got autographs with all of y'all.
You know, I was his age, standing in the same spot to get an autograph. I wanted to get Tony Stewart's autograph. And my 5 minutes sign my autograph. All this stuff straight in the garbage. I threw it all out. Screw this guy. I don't like him anymore.
He did that to me recently.
He did to you too?
I was like,
His wife signed an autograph, but Tony walked. Good luck.
thank y'all. Bye, y'all.
Now that's pretty cool. And Cole will be in action this Saturday and Sunday in his new number 46 Legend car at Lanier Raceway. 3 of the Raceface drivers went to Millbridge Speedway to sling some dirt on Wednesday night in their 600cc non-wing micro sprints. Sheldon Creed finished 3rd, Jesse Love 5th, and Connor Mozak made his first start in a micro and finished 5th in the B feature. Well, that's it for this week's Raceface Driver Updates. And remember, if you've missed any of our shows, you can get caught up at raceface.tv on demand and racingamerica.com. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Make sure to check out Raceface Digital and start collecting digital cards of your favorite drivers. And remember, Raceface Digital is open to all drivers and fan enrollment is always free. As always, we encourage you to support local racing in your communities, so go out there, have a great race week. I'm Rod Wortham. Thanks for watching.